Hi everyone, I want to share my feelings, my impressions after watching the movie Bajirao Mastani, which was shown here in Russia, in Moscow, at the Indian Film Festival. And I have seen many Indian films, but I cannot still understand how you people of India can make such great masterpieces. How can you make such films after millions of films have been shot in the world? You make films that actually go straight to the heart of people. Like, there are many films that, the film can open doors. Yes, the film can open doors to your heart, to your soul, to your feelings, but Bajirao Mastani does not have any doors to the audience. It does not have any doors, no barriers. It just goes straight to your heart. It went straight to my heart and impressed me so much. I don't know how you can do it. There can be soul in the movie. It can be quality, best actors. It can be best costumes, best dialogues, best style. But here it's like everything is all in one movie, and it is a real masterpiece. It's like once in a century. Well, in fact, more often than once in a century, but once in a while, I see this movie that actually blows me away. And I was really, really, really impressed. And I was watching it at the cinema in Russia. It was a film festival. It was almost full house. And I can tell you, for Russians, it's a kind of a different country, India, different traditions, different style, different language. And still the people were all watching it silently. Can you imagine the whole movie? The people were watching it without any giggling or whispers. Everybody was stuck and watching it with full attention. And I can show you how attentive I was when I was watching it. This was so tense for me. I had this piece of paper in my hands, it was a piece of paper like that. But I had this in my hands and I was holding it like this all the time, and it became like that. It became like this over the whole movie. So it is absolutely great. And I was crying. I was crying at the end. I was crying for sure. Tears were here. It impressed me so much. I have seen so many movies about different couples and love couples who died at the end, like Leila Majnu, Soni Mahival, Shama Parvana, Mughal Azam, but never ever I felt that I understood, really felt like with my whole body and soul. I felt the whole concept. The whole concept, in Russia, we don't have such a thing as divana. Divana. We can be, mad from love, but divana is something very strong. So I could never actually fully understand it. And in this movie, after watching this movie, I fully understood this divana thing. That is what divana means. E divane ki zid he zid. It was just unforgettable. And at the end, when this whole thing is happening, when Peshwa, when Bajirao is fighting some warriors in water, this whole impressive thing, the light, the illusions, the way he is acting, the way, every time he runs to Mastani, the way Mastani feels when she's, there in chains and she feels what is happening to him. I actually understood what it means, Divani. And I'm so thankful to everyone who made this movie. And I'm so thankful to the people who brought this movie to Russia. And I'm so happy that for the first time in my life, I saw this movie in cinema on the big screen. Because it really, really made a difference. And this Leila Majnun Do Badan Ek Jan The thing, actually it became understandable to me only after watching this movie, Bajirao Mastani. I never heard about this story before, and I know there perhaps is a poem about it, and perhaps all people in India know it, but I don't. So it even made it more interesting for me. And also you know, this thing about two wives. In Russia we don't have two wives, at least in the Christian religion we don't have two wives, and on the one hand it is difficult to understand it, but on the other hand it is made so beautifully. You know, these two wives, they have both, they have honor, they have their own family history, and they have their own andas, and they know that they are real women, and they know that they are both worthy of the love of Bajirao, and it was such a beautiful story. And of course for me, I was really impressed with Ranveer Singh. I think, of course, he's a great actor, but I saw him in Padmavat, and in Padmavat he is extremely impressive, and but in this movie it seems to me that his character role is a bit more complicated. He is not that dark, you know, like I think in Padmavat he's darker than here. And in Bajirao Mastani it is a complex role, and we see all kinds of different features of character. We see the fight which is going on inside himself, like you clearly see it on the screen, especially when the screen is so big and you can see his eyes and his body. And on the other hand we see the fight, but on the other hand we see that there is no conflict in him, because he always knows his way. He always knows what is true for him. So the fight is there, but the truth inside him always wins. The love wins, the feeling wins, the honor wins, the way to, the wish to fight lies, the wish to fight enemies wins. And well, at the end the love wins. Of course the love wins because he becomes Divana. And actually I have seen Padmavat. I saw Padmavat in India in the cinema, but it was not without it was without subtitles. And I saw it in Hindi. I know Hindi, but I don't know Hindi so well, so that I could actually understand all the dialogues. So perhaps that is why I liked Padmavat less than Bajirao Mastani. Bajirao Mastani, it was Russian subtitles, and thank you so much for those people who made this festival. The subtitles were very detailed, and I could actually understand every dialogue, and it makes a big effect. So, and the conflict is kind of similar, yes, in Padmavat and here, and I don't know why the actors are the same, like Deepika and Priyanka Chopra and Ranveer Singh. Perhaps there was a reason, I don't know why they made it, but I like this movie more. It really impressed me on the big screen. It impressed me with the sets, with the palaces, with all the different costumes and design. And it is really beautiful, beautifully shot film. I know another great movie on this topic, another great beautifully shot movie, Mughal-e-Azam, and I know that if I'm not mistaken it took 10 years to build the palace so beautiful for this, and that was really impressive. But whatever I see in this movie, Bajirao Mastani, is impressive in the new way. Of course, you know, Mughal-e-Azam is an old movie. It was, they didn't have so many possibilities to make it so big and beautiful, but here they had all these IT technologies and they really used it. And as far as I also understand, I have already read it, is that it took a long time to build the palaces and the halls, and I really appreciate it. It was so beautiful on the screen, you know, this Shisha Mahal and everything. I have seen all these Shisha Mahals and all the palaces. Well, I have seen some palaces in India, and it is so beautiful, although they are old. And here they are new, they are bright and shining and colorful. And you see there in the cinema, and there is this huge scene, huge screen with milliards and billions of all the small tiny pieces of glass and mirror and stones and gold, and it is extremely beautiful, and it is all done in style, in harmony with the costumes and with all the other sets. So I really appreciate the efforts of the filmmakers of Bajirao Mastani. And the costumes, the dances, the songs, everything is set so beautiful on the screen. It is like you are sitting and you are watching, I don't know, not even a fairy tale, but something else, something really, really magic. And this magic was created by people. Wow. And I really love the songs and the music in this film. I know many Indian songs, and you know, the songs are made as if there have never been any songs in India. That's my feeling. I mean, what I mean is there have been so many songs, yes, thousands and millions of wonderful songs created in India, but Sanjay Leela Bhansali and the poets, they made these songs great. Even though those many masterpieces existed in the past, now in modern life they created these masterpieces as if they were born like from anew. And in these songs you hear some kind of different parts of melodies from the past, but still they are all unique. It like they accumulate in these songs, the past melodies from the past, the songs of the past are accumulated to create these extremely new and fresh masterpieces, which are like a celebration to your ears. Every song is a celebration to your ears. Every song has its style and energy. Of course, this wonderful song Divani Mastani and Main Divani Ho Gayi, it is very beautiful, and I heard it before, but the song which I really loved most of all in the movie is the song Mohe Rang Dolal. So Mohe Rang Dolal is, of course, the song which reminds us of Mohe Pan Gahatupe Nandelali Chher Gayore from Mughal Azam. But it is a different song, and it is so beautiful. It has this gentle style, very soft style in the music, very soft style in singing by Shreya Ghoshal. And you know, Deepika Padukone, I read on YouTube, I don't know what you think, but I read on YouTube, but many people, you know, kind of criticize Deepika Padukone for her kind of soft style of dancing. But I think that in this song, she has really this gentle, soft style which coincides, which is in harmony with the music. So this song is so gentle. It's like this feeling of young, gentle love, and it goes to your body, and you like sit and feel as if you are in warm sea water and some beautiful bird singing from far away is around you. So I was really impressed by this song. And also I really liked the song Pinga, where the two wives dance together. It really touched me, you know, when I was watching the dialogue before the song. This is when Priyanka talks to Deepika and you know, gives her the sari. I was like holding this very tight because it is such an intense moment, and it is very, it makes you worry so much. And when they finally dance together, and when Deepika finally comes dressed and starts dancing with Priyanka, I mean, it gives me goosebumps even now when I think about it. It is so touching. And this whole concept of two wives kind of trying to make peace with each other because they love the same man, it is very deep, very touching, and I really loved it. And also I would like to say that for me this movie is about many things, but one of the things is kindness, and especially women's kindness. Not all women are kind in this movie, but the kindness which is shown by the heroine of Priyanka, at least in the second part of the movie, and the kindness that Deepika has in herself. So I think this whole movie is about kindness, isn't it? What do you think? Like, we all have to be kind. Whatever traditions there are, whatever laws there exist, the main thing, even if the things are not going right, if we don't like what is happening around us, if we don't like what our relatives are doing, we all must be kind to each other. We have to see behind all those laws and traditions, and the kindness, for me, is the main topic, the main theme of this film. And perhaps this is the kindness that also makes you cry, when you understand how big the kindness can be. And you know, of course, the great power in the film is the power of dialogues. I don't have a copy of this movie, and I haven't read the poem. Perhaps, I don't know, the dialogues come mainly from the poem, or perhaps they were written by the screenwriter. But the dialogues are just perfect. They give you a billion of goosebumps, and this is like the energy goes from character to character just using words and glances, and I was really impressed by the dialogues. And also the dialogues are an indispensable part why the movie is so great. And of course the power is in everywhere. And for example, style, harmony. Yes, there is nothing like the style, the design of the whole thing is so beautiful, and there are no minuses. Like there would be no like blue screen, blue sets, and some yellow and red spots on it. So everything is in harmony, and this harmony also brings some power that blows you away, even with the beauty of the picture. And another power which is there is the power, as I have already mentioned, of Ranveer Singh. This power of love that he has, the way that he runs to Mastani every time when she needs him, the way she's fighting with the warriors at the end, this whole man's power which Ranveer portrays on the screen, it is limitless, and it cannot leave anyone indifferent. And I don't know, I haven't seen many films by Ranveer Singh so far, but for me it's the most impressive one, the most impressive role of Ranveer Singh. So, you know, as I have already said, this song went straight to my heart, without any doors, without the need of any opening of doors. It went straight to my heart, and I was crying at the end, really feeling so bad that this love story did not happen. But on the other hand, you know, there are all these stories of Layla Majnun and whoever else, and even Egdu Jikelia, yes, Kamal Hassan and Ratiak Nikodri. You know, it is so sad at the end they die, and you become sad after watching the movie. But here, although they died, it all happened that they met after this. So, like he said, that we would meet when the sun will disappear and the rain will start falling. So, and it did happen. Whatever he foresaw happened, and they met at the end. And only at the end of this movie I did feel good. I did feel good. I didn't feel sad. I felt blown away, and I felt good that I felt blessed and lucky that I had a chance to watch this movie without knowing anything from the plot beforehand, which of course spoils when you know something, like when you know what is going to happen. And I really was lucky to watch it on the screen. And thank you, India, for making such movies. You know, people say that in the old times there were so good movies and so good actors and directors and songs, and now it doesn't exist. I'm so happy. You see, it's not true. Really, modern India can do wonderful masterpieces with all the technologies available. The art of acting is not lost. The art of making costumes is not lost. The art of making dialogues is not lost. The music is not lost. The Indian soul and the Indian hands and the Indian heads are not lost. Thank you, India, so much for watching this movie, and I hope that I will be able to see more movies like this in the future.